Hey there, online students. This is Dr. Beer. Welcome to the 6th week of classes. It is now February the 20th. Hope all of you are doing well. Semester is a third of the way over. I'm not sure if you realize this, but we have 14 weeks of classes and 1 week final exams. So we are a third of the way done. So I hope that you have found your groove and that you're excited about what you're learning. And I hope that I can be really helpful to you in that process. All right, so let's talk about what we've got going on this week. In NT 5103, we're still in the middle of working on study guides, and we'll be doing that for quite a bit longer. This week, we're now moving into working on the book of Philippians. We're going to finish the Gospel of John and move into Philippians. And you'll see that we are, doing some quizzes along the way. That'll involve some review of the material from Dr. Wallace's text. It might involve translation. You can look at the particular information pages for each quiz to know what's going to be covered. But again, the goal is to dig deeply into the Greek text, to work with the study guides to help you ask questions about what you're reading and applying material from Dr. Wallace's text. The goal is not to simply try to remember everything from Dr. Wallace's text, but to go back, to reread, to think, to digest, to weigh, to discuss, and to think this through. So we're going to continue doing that for quite a while, and we are fairly soon to move into our first unit exam, but for now we're still in the daily work of translating and doing study guides. In NT 5104, this week we're working on the exegetical outline. That's a really important part of the process. It's a little more synthetic because you're looking at the whole of the paragraph and thinking about how it works, but there's a couple of things that you really want to take notice on. The first thing to note is that you are always going to base your exegetical outline on the structural layout. So what you'll notice is that when you turn in the exegetical outline, you have to submit a revised version of the structural layout based upon my comments. The other thing that's important to note, and this I cover at length in the videos, is that the exegetical outline is based on a subject complement statement, which is a very particular way to talk about the content of the biblical text. It focuses very strongly on the subject, what Paul is talking about, and then the complement, what he says about what he is talking about. Quick pro tip, don't start your subject complement statements by saying Paul says, Paul commands, or something to that effect. We know that he is doing that, and so we're focusing on the content of what he's commanding. Another thing is, don't just focus on one-word subjects. Jesus is our peace. That's much too broad. We want to be very focused on what Paul is discussing in this particular passage. So that's going to require a little bit more precision. But at any rate, I walk through that in length in the videos. That's a couple of things to keep in mind, but this is where we're now starting to wed our analysis to our synthesis and think about the passage as a whole. I think you'll really enjoy this exercise. In NT 5110, we are currently working on the canon of the New Testament. This is a longer unit. You've already been at work in it for a week. The reason you've got more time is that the research paper bibliography is a different kind of assignment. What you'll notice is that we want you to have both tertiary sources, secondary sources, and primary sources. That's going to be the hardest thing for you. Primary sources are the ancient documents that deal with your topic. And so I at length talk about how to do that in this particular page, the assignment page, where I give you some tips and tricks on how to move forward on this. You don't have to have too many. I just want to see 3 quotations from primary sources. It's meant to get you into that material to help you understand how to work with it and give you some insight into how it can be applicable to your work today. Now, to that end, I want you to see that I'm going to be having an optional review session on February the 22nd, 3:30 p.m. Central Time. This link will take you to the Teams meeting where we'll have that. There you can go to ask questions, get information. We can talk about anything you want, but the goal is to help you with the paper bibliography because that's a little bit more of the most immediate need at this point. So if you're interested, you can plan on attending that. And of course, I'll also be willing to help you by email and other ways. But that session is set up to help you because this is a new assignment. It's a new way of doing a bibliography than what you've done before. All right, well, I hope all of you are really enjoying the semester. As I said, we're a third of the way through. It's an exciting place to be because now our learning can really ramp up. We've got all the preliminaries out of the way and we can really focus. So I pray that that's what you're doing, and I look forward to working with you online this week.